All right. Well, welcome everyone. As we were chatting, as we all came into the call, it's really hard to believe that this is our last DIY call. The time has gone by so quickly, and Becky and I have really enjoyed working with all of you, and we hope that you have walked away with lots of new ideas and maybe just cemented some things in that you knew you should have been doing, but kind of maybe fell by the wayside. Had lots of celebrations, and that we are just elated that we have been able to share those experiences with each of you. And as Becky was saying, we're not done yet. So Becky's going to come on in a little bit, and we're going to talk a little bit about what is around the corner and the possibilities for all of you. So we always like to start our call with some celebration. So does anyone want to share something that they are super excited about that happened in the last week, or maybe just throughout the program, something you're like, yes, this was such a value for me to be spending my 45 minutes on Sunday evenings? Anyone want to share?
I love the reminder that contacts is just a numbers game, and talking and talking and talking and making contacts is how you get your business to move forward.
You can't give up. If you give up, then you know what? It's going to be you're just going to stand still. So that's great, Kristen. Thank you. Anyone else? Karen? Karen, do you want to share anything? I'm not sure if Karen's on mute. She is not muted. Okay. Amanda, what about you?
Well, I'm going to share for Karen. This is Becky. If Karen's muted.
Okay.
I know that Karen is it appears that Karen is in qualification month this month with her team for making director requirements. So I think that's a big kudos, really pretty much since conference. So congratulations.
Congratulations, Karen. We will look forward to celebrating that. Great job. Okay. All right, Denise, would you like to share? Nope. Denise?
Oh, sorry, my internet went down. So what was the question? I had to get out and get back in.
So we were asking if there was something you would like to celebrate that has happened maybe since the program started or in the last week.
Oh, the celebrate is I've been asking more and more than I did before. So that in itself is good, because before I would just kind of let it go, but you guys have gave me lots and lots of words. So yeah, it's been really cool.
All right. Well, thank you, Denise. All right, Amanda. Anything?
I was excited that I did have 5 recruits. I think I had 10 active girls last month.
That is awesome.
So when I realized that, I was like, woo!
That is great. As a brand new director, that is definitely something to celebrate. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Looks like you have a cheerleader already right there.
Yes.
He is my #1 cheerleader.
Look at him, how cute he is.
The little guy hasn't been feeling well. He looks like he's come back around.
Oh, that's the other one. He's over there.
Okay. So
But he is back to himself.
Okay, good. We like that.
It was a long week.
Yeah, poor thing. All right, Carolyn, can I bring you off of mute? Is there something you'd like to celebrate, Carolyn?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. I have been talking to people in person. I like to do it that way. And I met a lady the other day, a young girl, who was working at a Walgreens, and she had a brace on her hand. And we were trying to get something open to test it to see if it was going to work. And she said, I can't do it. My hand won't let me. So I opened it up, and she said, I said, so what did you do to your hand? And she said, I have arthritis. I said, we have some tools that will help you. And so I started talking to her about that. She gets her new schedule on Wednesday, and we're going to meet. And she and her mother both have arthritis in their hands. And so we have some tools that will help them. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to meet about that, and that'll be fun. And I also have several people that are thinking about becoming consultants this coming week. So I have to follow up with three more people. So we'll see what happens with that. But I'm very excited about it because it seems like the wording is better now because you all have given us the right words to say. And Becky and Alice Schneider spent some time on individual calls with me for a while before we started these calls. And so all of those things have really helped me a lot. So I'm very grateful. So thank you very much.
Oh, it's our pleasure, Carolyn. You know, Carolyn, I just hear the difference in your voice, the confidence that you didn't have when we started this program. So I want to say congratulations to you. It's been an honor.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's all the words that you guys gave me. So thank you.
You're welcome. Our pleasure. All right. Well, we are going to go ahead and talk with Linda Chiriboga for a minute and talk about her success strategies. Linda promoted to director, and we are so excited to have celebrated that with Linda. So I have a few questions, and I was hoping that by asking Linda these questions, it would kind of help you see a little bit about her journey and also some of the tips that helped her to promote to director. So the first question that I want to ask you, Linda, is what would you like to share? What would be the three of your top benefits of being a director that you enjoy?
Okay, so this is my second rodeo. So I had a lot of health problems, and just personal things going on in my life. So I was finally able to get back. But the three benefits that I definitely missed, first would be getting the director box of the new products. That is just fabulous, and my kids enjoy it as well. It's like Christmas. It's just great getting that, and then having the opportunity to earn it a second time, just like any consultant in the business. So that's definitely a great perk. Higher commission, because you're getting a higher commission on your sales and your entire team. So it's really easy to make, at least $1,000 a month with hardly doing anything, I think. And the third one would be a higher discount that we get off of products that we still want to purchase. So instead of 20%, it's 30%.
Okay. Wonderful.
And of course, recognition at conference and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, good. So I'm glad that you mentioned the recognition. That is always fun to have your special ribbon and to walk across stage. It's always fun. So good. Well, thank you, Linda. All right. So many of you may not be aware that Linda moved to a new state and promoted to director like within 6 weeks. Okay. So, you know that we always talk about our number one focus always has to be bookings and our personal business, because to have a personal business means that gives you the opportunity to be in front of more people and to be able to add new team members on. So, Linda, as you moved to your new state, how did you secure bookings? What would be some of your approaches that you took? Because you obviously didn't know a lot of people there.
No, I don't. First of all, my cushion was my virtual shows, because that, I could still go back to my Florida people and say, hey, let's do another virtual party. So that's kind of what I'm relying on as I continue to make new relationships. But just when I'm out, like the person that did my mortgage, she has said, yes, I will have a show for you. So just being right up front and making connections. The lady that did my massage, my mortgage lady, reconnecting on Facebook. It was the wildest story. Is I was at a high school football game, and I was friends with Facebook friends with somebody that my late husband and I went to her dad's church. So the mom is texting me, and then the daughter's texting her to find out who her son was, because I was at the football game with my exchange student, and lo and behold, she was sitting right in front of me. So I didn't know her as well as, because she was in college at the time, that we were at her church. But it's been wonderful, because even though I didn't know her well, I've gotten to know her now. So I am a single mom, And so I joined a single moms group. So I see a whole lot of potential right there. She herself is going to host a show. So just getting yourself out there everywhere I go. I overheard someone at the sports ticket office at Liberty University, and I'm like, oh, you like to cook. Have you ever heard of Pampered Chef? So I need to send her a catalog, and then I literally have her business card right here to follow up with her. So getting contact, post, anywhere I go, it's, and you all can do that too. Pretend like you are starting over. Where would you go to start your business? Join a new group. In fact, that same girl has her own cooking, I think, and she's going to a fair. It's too late for me to sign up for that one, but she's like, but I'll tell you when the next one is. So just looking for the fairs, the exhibits, and getting yourself out there.
Right. Good. Well, I know, Linda, and one of the things I love that what you pulled up was that business card. Because you know what, you can give out information, but it's collecting their information that's key.
Right.
That's the first thing that you want to train your new team members is when you give something, make sure that you capture their information so your follow-up is an option.
Exactly.
All right, so Linda, my next question to you is, what's the biggest change you've made in your business that helped you promote? Because you said you called yourself out. You said this is your second rodeo. So
yeah.
What changes did you make?
Well, I've had, as I said, a lot of personal complications, including a massive pulmonary embolism in May that I almost died from. So it's been rough, just trying to get everything back together. But having Donna on my butt every day is definitely helping. But in this group, it's the accountability, because it's easy to say, oh, I'm so busy, I don't have time today or right now or whatever. But investing the time and the accountability to know someone is going to ask you, what have you done today? So it's getting used to being in the process of what am I going to do every day. So typically on Sunday night, I pull out my calendar, I put all my kids' stuff in there first, and then work around that and plan my day. What business, and so then I move into the business. So what do I need to accomplish this week? And definitely set goals for myself. And then also I put a lot of times reconnecting with consultants, because now my team is all over the place. We all used to be in Florida, but now I've got someone in Michigan, Georgia, Florida, and South Carolina. So I'm utilizing Zoom calls and say, sorry, I've been out of touch, but between the personal and the physical ailments as well as moving, it was a challenge. So I've gotten them going again. I am training them on virtual shows by letting them piggyback off my posts and saying, okay, it's going to say it's coming from me, but you set it up and you watch what I do. And then it's kind of like when my husband was in medical school, you watched one, you did one, you taught one. So I think of that as, okay, I'm doing them. Now you watch, now you're going to do. And this is how you do it. It's very simple, copy, paste, and you're good.
Thanks, Linda. That's great. I like that you have a strategic plan. Planning is key. You plan on Sunday, and of course we always we put our family first and then go from there. And, we want to have our new consultants start off strong, and virtual is really overwhelming. If you tell your new consultants, go do a virtual party, and you try to piece the puzzle together for them, they're like deer in headlights. So your process, Linda, is the best way to start them off. I love that. Thank you.
Right. And I actually told one consultant, listen, you've got an iPhone, so I can show you my screen of how simple this is, and this is what you have to do. And then also I've been going live a lot on purpose because you get a lot more views going live on Facebook. So I think last week I went live 3 times. And when I say I'm busy, I'm busy. I've got 2 of my own kids in sports and a 3rd kid from Curacao in sports. So once school starts, I mean, I'm doing like 4 trips, like all over the place. So trying to get supper on the table is very difficult. So, and I'm managing to do it and film while I'm doing it.
Yep. Okay. Well, you're making it duplicatable. That's for sure. All right. So, Linda, my last question to you is: we talked a lot the last few calls about obstacles. You know, when people say to you that they're too busy. So you have a recruit potential, and you're talking to her about the business, and they say that they're too busy. How do you respond to them?
Well, you need to ask them, how much time do you think you need to do this business? Or could you pull aside, you know, one night a week or a couple nights a month to do this business? And also, I would tell them that busier people get more done, because the busier you are, you have to be more organized with your time, because I mean, I have an alarm on my phone for when to pick up my daughter from gymnastics, or I'll forget about her. So I'm like, that's my don't forget Gabriella's at gymnastics. But we have to be more organized, and when you're that way, the day can't slip away from you as quickly, because you got to be at places at certain times and schedule your time.
Exactly. Thanks, Linda. All right. Does anyone have any questions for Linda before we move on to our next segment? Any questions? Raise your hand and then I can unmute you if you do. Okay. All right. Well, congratulations, Linda. Thank you so much for sharing. And we want to kind of wrap up this series talking a little bit about, if you kind of feel like you still have some stumbling blocks, this would be our opportunity to kind of discuss those and process those stumbling blocks, because the chances are, if you have that, there's probably someone else in this call that is experiencing those same things. So does anyone have a burning question, or like, gosh, I'm just kind of stuck on this one part? This would be, Becky and I are going, I'm going to unmute Becky so she can join me here, and hopefully we're going to be able to answer your questions. Hey, Beck, you're back with us?
Yep, I'm unmuted. Can you hear me?
Perfectly. All right, so raise your hand if you do have a question or a stumbling block or something that we can help you process, because this was all about getting you, to that next level. So, whatever that level was, remember we said this program was all up to you. I'm looking back. No one's, okay, Courtney raised her hand. Okay, Courtney, I'm going to go ahead and unmute you. Okay, Courtney, you're good.
Okay, so I recruited 3 people between June and September, and they're finally starting to do parties, but I'm trying to kind of keep them going and get them self-motivated. And I don't know how to do it, because at this point it's taken them, 2 or 3 months to get into it. And they're not concerned about their 30, 60, 90 days. So how do I keep them, I guess, focused on how to get their business going, so that way when they are less busy, they are able to have a successful business?
So Becky, you want me to go first and then you bring it around?
Doesn't matter. Either way,
Okay.
I'm good.
Go ahead, Beck, because we got you.
Oh, you know what, Courtney, and the number one thing I was going to say is that to have those initial conversations about what interested them in doing Pampered Chef, and what do they hope to have or be as a result of their association with their Pampered Chef business, and how will that impact their family, and really spend some time with them in the beginning about that. Now, it's never too late to be great with that either. So I would say to have the conversation now if you haven't already. But anytime then I'm consultant coaching, which is similar to host coaching, that you're working towards a common goal, I bring up that, I know that you've told me that it's super important for you to have income for this, or it's super important for you to have some adult conversations, or it's super important for whatever, I'm here to help you do that. So let's work together and help me to help you, kind of thing.
Okay.
But just establish that as soon as possible if it wasn't in the beginning. But I'll turn it over to Donna to take it from there.
Yeah, Becky, that's exactly what I would say. But Courtney, take it just a step further and say, let's just talk about how much you'd like to earn before the holidays. And
Right.
then that gives you a starting point to say, this is how many parties we need to have, and this is how many contacts we need to make in order to have those parties on the calendar. So
Okay.
make it more methodical, and then when then it's also, of course, like one of the things that Linda said was the accountability. So when she says, I want to have 4 parties on my calendar for October, then you can say, okay, well, how many calls are you willing to make this week to get those parties on your calendar? And then follow up with her, okay, you know what, I'm going to give you a call next Saturday, and, we can see how you're progressing. And I like to do like a little uplifting text like Wednesday, because, sometimes you get really positive results and then sometimes you don't. So, you can shoot her a little text on the Wednesday before and just say, hey, just checking in, let me know how things are going. I believe in you. So that can help you there. So did that help what Becky and I shared?
It does, yes. And I did discuss it a little bit in the beginning, but especially now getting into their 30-day marks and 90-day marks, I can revisit that, and having that short-term goal for what do you want to earn for the holidays might actually help with that too.
Good, wonderful.
Thank you.
You're welcome, our pleasure. All right, anyone else? Anyone else? Denise, Carolyn, Karen. You guys are such good students. You don't have any questions for us. Karen, did you have something? I saw you came live.
I'm sorry, I just hopped on. I got the time wrong. I'm so sorry. So I missed. I'm going to have to go back and hit the recording.
That's okay. That's okay. Karen, we were just asking, so we'll just kind of bring you right into where we're at this point. We were asking about if there was any current, obstacles, challenges, maybe some questions that you have as we're wrapping up this series.
I've just really enjoyed this series. Sorry I'm coming in late tonight. I do have one question. I have been doing a lot of bookings for this month, and I have 5 parties that are all going to be happening at the same time. And I'm a little nervous about that, keeping them all straight. Does anybody have any tips for that?
Well, you know what? Let's turn that over to our group and see if any of our future leaders can answer that question. So Karen, I'm assuming we're talking about juggling virtual parties.
Yes, 5 of them at one time.
Okay. Anyone want to jump into that? Raise your hand. Linda, let me unmute you. Okay, go ahead, Linda.
I just literally, I fill out the host coaching form just like I would for everybody. And then on the back of it, I'm a paper person, not a computer person as well. But this is my one right now. I don't know if you can see it. But I just put their name and then as they start participating. So I put the guest name as they start participating. I put Q&A, games, orders, and booking. And then I just, with a pencil, keep track of the points as I go along. So then at least every other day I do a running ticket tally so that they can see how many tickets everyone's getting, and remind them you can go back and start at the beginning and participate and get more tickets that way. So I just keep track of it on paper.
Oh, that's very helpful. Do you do the scheduled post on Facebook, or I have not figured out just yet how to do that?
Once I start something, it's very hard for me to change it up. So
Right.
I do share so that I literally copy and paste. I like Janine Gagne's her outline. So I literally copy and paste and schedule all at the same time using SyncShare.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Linda, would you be willing to share the tracking paper that you just shared as a document? Do you have it as a PDF or is it all handwritten?
It's literally handwritten. And I can try to just put it.
Yeah. Or
Word.
maybe just snap a picture of it to post it there so
sure.
people can see it. That would be great.
Yeah, so I literally just add guests the first time they interact and then keep track of it that way.
Yeah, Becky, it's right on the back of her host information sheet.
Okay.
I just scribble it on there, but I can type it up on
Or just snap a picture of it and post it so that people that are listening to the recording can see it. That's great.
Okay. Do it right now.
Kristen, hold on, we unmute you. Kristen, can you unmute?
I did. Sorry. Karen, obviously I don't know your scheduling and that type of thing, but one thing that helped me, a suggestion was, and Becky, this may have been you that told me this, but if not, it was in through one of her trainings, was to pick out the weeks, or however, I do my parties in a week, pick out the weeks, 2 weeks a month, one towards the beginning, so you get paid the first half of the month, one towards the end, so you get paid at the end, and schedule how many parties you're available to do during that time and sort of fit people in when it's good for you. So that was one tip that helped me sort of regulate how many virtual parties I was doing at a time.
Okay, thank you.
All right, I think have we helped, Karen?
Yes, very much so. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Okay. All right, does anyone else have anything before we turn over to Becky? All right. Becky, I'm going to turn over this portion to you.
Okay, thank you. So I just want to tell you all what a privilege and an honor it's been to be able to work with you through this series. I've just noticed in the sharings that you've been giving tonight, there just seems to be a huge heart involved in the conversations and the sharings as everyone's speaking. Just from, Carolyn talking about your potential consultants and Linda and just everybody. I don't want to name names because everyone has had that tone of really helping other people and leading with your heart and using your mind to do it. So I love that. We feel like we want to offer something, another series, and we've tossed around the idea of holding another series centered around also a book study type series. And so we'll be putting some more information out about that. We will be using one that we've used with our leaders and our director, our leaders, directors at our directors retreats to bring to our, senior consultants and team leaders that are wanting to grow. So we hope to have some more information about that after we get together this week at Exec Summit and Chairman Circle. So we'll have some details to share with you, by the end of this week. So we'll post that information in this group, but we will most likely create a new group centered around that new program series. So I hope that's exciting to you. And if you want to continue to grow and level and promote, we'd love to have you join. So again, just thank you all for all of your participation. It really has been wonderful being able to work with this group and of people that really want to grow. It makes us excited too, after all these years to still, be working with people that want to continue to grow. It's fun. So thank you. And we'll have more information by the end of this week for you.
Absolutely. So keep this momentum going. We, as a company, there is such excitement within the company, and that stems from all of you. So keep that momentum going. We have another wonderful, bonus for new consultants coming on board this month. We are in an amazing selling season. The fall is so exciting. The quick cooker is over the top. those, Kristen was talking about, she was at a vendor event, and, that was an attraction. So we have something really, that is hot on the market. So get out there and talk about it. And even through your virtual parties, one of the Linda's testimonials, it is key to go live in there, because that's your energy comes through in a virtual party when you go live. So, so do justice to yourself and the time and the work that you've been involved in this program. You made a commitment, so don't stop. Because we are, as Becky said, we are so honored to have each and every one of you, and we want to continue working together. So I hope that you will all be as excited as we are when we're ready to launch that program.
And I just have one short thing. The thing that boosted my business the most so many years ago was something that Rory Vaden calls short time, double time. And this is the time of year where you really can apply that to your business. What that is taking a short period of time and increasing your activity double or more. So you decide the period of time. It might be the next 3 weeks. It might be the next 3 months. For me, I put 25 shows into 2 months time frame. And I was only doing about 3 to 4 shows a month at the time. So for me, it was short time, quadruple time, or whatever. But Rory Vaden calls it short time, double time. And I highly recommend that this time of year. Talk to your family, get your family's approval, because you can live through anything for 2 months. The next 2 months, if you think about it, holiday cutoff is about a little more than 2 months away. And maybe decide what you'd like to put into that to really take your business to the next level. And you're in charge, so you get to choose. But, that might look like double, it might be triple. It's up to you. But using that concept, I think, can really benefit you this time of year. So I highly encourage you to take a look at that. And either of us can help you. If you need, some help with that, just let us know. Private message us, if whichever team you're on. So
awesome. Well, I guess we'll finish this up. Does anyone have any last minute questions or comments before we sign off? Okay, well, thank you so much, everyone. Again, we so appreciate the time that you invested and participated with the group. It was a lot of fun, and we appreciate that. All right, Becky, you be safe driving, and everyone have a great rest of the holidays and the fall. And you'll be hearing from us very soon. Next week we'll be at Chairman's Circle, and we'll have a plan right after that.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
guys.
Thanks, Donna. Becky.
Blessings, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.